Hello, everyone. Well,
Hi.
welcome to SoulSpace podcast number 41. Woo! Um, yeah. Today, we- today we're going to talk about prosperity and the book "You Can Heal Your Life" by Louise Hay. I have an old version. Carissa has
Yeah,
an updated version. But
very pretty one. Lots of paintings in it. Love it.
yeah, and there's many versions of this book. It's been out for a long time and it's so good that they have to keep reprinting it. So
Yep.
uh, it's just an awesome book to have in your arsenal of books.
Yes, Louise Hay is wonderful, and her works are extremely helpful. Been extremely helpful to us, and we hope that they're helpful to you and the things that we share within them. Today
Yeah.
is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to go through chapter 13, which is all about prosperity. And so we're excited to share this with you. All right. So if you guys have the book, which I hope you do, if you've been watching us for a while, you should get it. Um, we are on chapter 13, prosperity, and it might be numbered differently in your book. In my newer book, it's page 139, and on Tracy's book, it's 113, correct?
Yep, it is. So either way, it should be the same.
Chapter 13.
Yeah.
So we're going to start with this part. It says, I deserve the best and I accept the best now. If you don't know Louise Hay, she's all about positive affirmations and using your mind to create your own circumstances.
Hmm.
If you want the above affirmation to be true for you, then you do not want to believe any of the following statements. Money doesn't grow on trees. Money is filthy and dirty. Money is evil. I am poor, clean, or good. Rich people are crooks. I don't want to have money and be stuck up. I will never get a job. I will never make any money. Money goes out faster than it comes in. I am always in debt. Poor people can never get out from under. Parents were poor and I will be poor. Artists have to struggle. Only people who cheat have money. Everyone else comes first. Oh, I couldn't charge that much. I don't deserve. I'm not good enough to make money. Never tell anyone that what I have in the bank. Never lend money. A penny saved is a penny earned. Save for a rainy day. A depression could come at any moment. I resent others having money. Money only comes from hard work. How many of these beliefs belong to you? Do you really think that believing any of them will bring you prosperity? It is old, limited thinking. Perhaps it was what your family believed about money, because family beliefs stay with us unless we consciously release them. Wherever it came from, it must leave your consciousness if you want to prosper. To me, true prosperity begins with feeling good about yourself. It is also the freedom to do what you want to do when you want to do it. It is never an amount of money, it is a state of mind. Prosperity, or lack of it, is an outer expression of the ideas in your head.
That's so good. And all those statements, I'm sure we all heard them growing up.
Oh,
You know,
100%.
yeah, I think every one of them I've heard. It's
Yep.
crazy. Yeah. And like my grandparents they were alive during the Depression, so they remembered those struggle days and went through it. So they always strive to save and to be thrifty because they didn't know if it would happen again. And so I can understand where they came from, that you don't want to go through those tough times like that. But I also understand, like when I was growing up, things were pretty good and people were doing well. And um, I mean, we were never rich or anything, but we didn't struggle like what I heard my grandma and grandpa talking about, when they went through some of the rough times. So it's
Mhm.
it's hard for some people to understand what it was like back then, and to be, you know, when they are worried about it happening again, to get out of that mindset. And
Right.
you know, when we went through coaching certification, we talked a lot about the mindset of being wealthy and being rich, and um, knowing that you can control it, and we're the ones that manifest everything in our life. So why not manifest good things, you know,
Yes.
and not dwell on that past, and that stay in that mindset of the past. So
Right.
yeah, and this is a really good reminder of that. Um, if you want to tap a little bit, we could do a couple tapping things on some of these. Do you want to do that now or wait till the end?
Well, I think, every single one of us has either thought or said one of these things on this list,
Right,
um, as we've grown up, because, like you said, a lot of those things from our parents past, grandparents past, they've passed on to us or said when we were children or said to us, and we've kind of subconsciously ensured that. And so it's really important for us to begin to let go of that mentality of fear and lack to be able to move forward towards the abundance that we're seeing, because all of us want more abundance,
right,
and all of us could think of the wonderful things that we could do with more money and the things that we could give and the charity that we could do, and the time that we could have if we just, had more in this way or that way.
right.
So I think it would be brilliant to do a quick tapping session now, and then we'll keep moving forward into the other pieces of this. Yeah, love it.
Okay. So I'm gonna take my glasses off so I can kind of show you, and then I won't be able to see the words, but okay. We'll improvise somehow. Um, so first we're gonna kind of tap through the negative part of it, and then we'll go back and do the positive thoughts. So we all have heard these statements before, and maybe we'll just tap starting with the karate chop point. So even though I grew up hearing these negative statements about money, you can say it for yourself. I totally love and accept myself. So if you want to say them after me, you can, Carissa.
I can. Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that for everybody else so that we can do it together.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Um, even though I heard all these statements and sometimes they stick in my mind, I totally love and accept myself.
Even though I've heard all of these statements and sometimes they stick in my mind, I totally love and approve of myself.
Okay. So now we'll go at the eyebrow point. Even though I know that it's not true, these statements that I heard growing up, I totally love and accept myself.
Even though I know that it's not true, these statements that I heard growing up, I totally love and appreciate myself.
Okay. Now, side of the eye. Even though I heard a lot of times that money doesn't grow on trees, I know that's not true. And I totally love and accept myself.
Even though I heard a lot that money doesn't grow on trees, I love and approve of myself. I can't remember what you said.
Close enough. Close enough. Okay. Um, under the eye. Even though I heard people say that rich people aren't trustworthy, I know that's a lie. And I totally and completely trust myself.
Even though I heard a lot growing up that rich people are untrustworthy, I know that that's untrue. And I totally love and accept myself and trust myself.
Good. Under the nose. Let's see. Oh, I found another one. Um, Even though I hear a lot that people are always in debt, I know that that isn't true. And I totally love and accept myself.
Even though I hear a lot that people are in debt, I know that's not true. And I totally love and accept myself.
Okay. On the collarbone, even though I heard a lot growing up that life is hard, I know that that's not true. And I totally love and accept myself for knowing better.
Even though I heard a lot growing up that life is hard, I know that that's not true. And I totally love and accept myself and my truth that life is easy.
Awesome. Okay, let's do top of the head. Um, Even though I sometimes heard that people don't deserve things, or they don't deserve to be wealthy, or don't deserve to be rich, or don't deserve the money they have, I know that that's not always true. And I totally love and appreciate and accept myself for knowing better.
Even though I've heard a lot that people don't deserve things that they have, or the riches that they accumulate, or the things that they want. I know that that's not true. And I know that I deserve to have the good things that I want. And I totally love, appreciate, and accept myself.
Awesome. Okay, take a deep breath, blow it out. If you have some water, take a drink. Remember when we do energy work that you always want to keep hydrated and drink some water and shake it up, move, have that movement. Yeah, shake it out. Um, and that really helps your body release from that cellular memory and release the energy of the negative stuff that has built up. So it's important to drink water and breathe while you're doing it.
Mhm.
Now let's just do a round with some good thoughts in it instead. So, okay, do the karate chop. I know that I am the creator in my life and that I can manifest anything that I want.
I know that I'm the creator in my life and I can manifest anything that I want.
Awesome. Eyebrow. I know that some of the statements I heard growing up can be turned around to something positive, and for that, I am grateful.
I know that some of the statements I heard growing up can be turned around to the positive, and for that, I am grateful.
Inside of the eye. I'm so thankful and grateful that I am in charge of my own mind and I know how to pivot the negative thoughts into good thoughts.
I'm so happy and grateful that I'm in charge of my own mind and I know how to pivot and change negative thoughts to positive thoughts.
Awesome. Under the eye. I appreciate the knowledge I have of having a good mindset and the tools in my toolbox to switch my thoughts.
I appreciate that I know how to have a positive mindset and use the tools in my toolbox to create a wonderful life.
Awesome.
Short term memory inhibits me in this exercise.
That's good. It's all good. Um, under
But I
the
love and accept myself.
right, right. Um, I truly appreciate the way I grew up, and I know that I am manifesting my perfect life.
I totally appreciate the way that I grew up, and I appreciate that I am manifesting a wonderful, perfect, and amazing life.
Awesome. Chin. Can't remember if we did this one before, but um, I know that I am the absolute creator in my own life, and I can create whatever my desires are.
I know that I am the absolute creator in my own life, and I can create whatever my desires are.
Collarbone. I love and appreciate myself no matter what.
I love and appreciate myself no matter what.
Okay. Under the arm. I think we forgot this one last time.
You
Uh,
did, it's fine.
I um I lost my thought there. Um I appreciate the knowledge and the tools in my toolbox that can help me create a wonderful life.
I appreciate the knowledge and tools in my toolbox to help me create a wonderful life.
Okay. And top of the head. Um I know that I am worthy of every desire that ever pops into my head. All I have to do is create it.
I know that I am worthy of every desire that pops into my head. All I have to do is create it.
Awesome.
I always like to move after we do any of that.
Always good to move.
hmm
That feels good. Do you feel lighter? I hope so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do. I
Yeah.
hope everybody else does too.
Yeah. I
I
do.
do. I always feel like lifts me up a little bit.
Yeah, it really does. And even if you can't think of the words to say, just tap. And that alone will help get you going. It'll help get that energy moving and you don't have to remember where to tap. Just tap anywhere and that really gets the flow going in your body, the energy flow. So just use it a lot. I tap a lot.
It's wonderful. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Right. So we're going to continue with our Louise Hay
Yeah.
wonderful things. And interestingly enough, the next part of it is on deserving. Do
That's good. Do
you
you
want
want?
to do this part?
Yep.
Yeah.
Deserving. If we do not accept the idea that we deserve to prosper, then even when abundance falls in our laps, we will refuse it somehow. Look at this example. A student in one of my classes was working to increase his prosperity. He came to class one night to so excited for he had just won $500. He kept saying, "I don't believe it. I never win anything." We knew it was a reflection of his changing consciousness. He still felt he did not really deserve it. Next week, he could not come to the class as he had broken his leg. The doctor bills came to $500. It had been frightened. He had been frightened to move forward in a new prosperous direction and felt undeserving. So he punished himself in this way. And that's a subconscious thing. When we don't deserve that, we feel like we don't deserve it, then something's going to come up to take that money away. And it's been proven many times by huge lottery winners. They say a lot of them go broke or go back to their level of comfort in abundance within 5 years or so. So, we need to change that mindset if we really want to get to a different place. So, whatever we concentrate on increases. So, don't concentrate on your bills. If you concentrate on lack and debt, then you will create more lack and debt. There is an inexhaustible supply in the universe. Begin to be aware of it. Take the time to count the stars on a clear evening or the grains of sand in one handful, the leaves on one branch of a tree, the raindrops on a window pane, the seeds in one tomato. Each seed is capable of producing a whole vine with unlimited tomatoes on it. Be grateful for what you have, and you will find that it increases. I like to bless with love all that is in my life now, my home, the heat, water, lights, telephone, furniture, plumbing, appliances, clothing, transportation, jobs, the money I do have, friends, and my ability to see and feel and taste and touch and walk and to enjoy this incredible planet. Our own belief in lack and limitation is the only thing that is limiting us. What belief is limiting you? Do you want to have money only to help others? Then you are saying you are worthless. Be sure you are not rejecting prosperity now. If a friend invites you to lunch or dinner, accept with joy and pleasure. Don't feel you are just trading with people. If you get a gift, accept it graciously. If you can't use the gift, pass it on to someone else. Keep the flow of things moving through you. Just smile and say thank you. In this way, you let the universe know you are ready to receive your good. And
Mm.
I love that part about the gifts, a lot of times, or at least before I worked on my mindset about this, it was hard for me to accept gifts. And I always thought, oh, you didn't have to do that, or, oh, whatever. Even if somebody wants to pay for your lunch or pay for your coffee, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. That takes the joy from the person that's trying to give you something. So I always say thank you and just accept it and be in gratitude for that and appreciate it. So try to not say, or even with a compliment, try and not, poo poo it away. Just accept it and feel that. And you can really feel that person's joy that gave you that compliment or that is buying your coffee or whatever it is. It feels so good to be in that appreciation when you're
Mhm.
gift, right?
And one of my favorite things to say now is, "Oh, thank you so much. That's so kind."
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether it's a compliment or they give you a gift or they're like, "No, I'm getting lunch today."
Yeah.
Yeah, just saying, "Oh my gosh, thank you. That's so kind. I didn't expect that, but I really appreciate that." Or, something, because then you're both feeling the joy and they're feeling the joy of your acceptance
Right.
rather than their, because when you say, "Oh, you didn't have to do that," or "Why? No, let me pay," or whatever, what you're doing is you're rejecting their gift.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even if that's not your intention, you want them to know that they didn't have to do that. Well, they know that they didn't have to do that.
Right.
Everybody knows they don't have to. But then you're saying, "Well, now I owe you,"
Hmm.
rather than accepting the gift and just saying thank you. And so rather than "I owe you," "you owe me," "I owe you," all that kind of stuff, just saying thank you.
Yeah.
And that brings the joy for everybody up. And they know that you appreciate it. And it feels good to them because you're accepting it and you're saying that it means a lot to you that they're doing that rather than now you owe them.
Right. Yeah. It's so good to be in that feeling of appreciation when that happens, when you can accept it fully and enjoy that and, relish in that. It's
Right.
it's so awesome. Yeah.
Accepting compliments was really hard for me
Yeah.
to learn, to how to do that. It took me a long, over 30 years
Hmm.
of working on it to finally be able to accept a compliment. So
Yeah.
now if somebody compliments what I'm wearing or my work or whatever it is, I can say thank you and I can mean it.
Hmm.
"Thank you, that's so kind," or "Thank you, I really appreciate that," or, I could say thank you and I can give a compliment back, but, it's always like a genuine exchange.
Right.
Rather than like, "Oh, no," now I say thank you, and it makes them feel really good that I'm accepting the compliment and that I believe them, That's another thing is like you're believing the compliment that they're giving you. That means a lot to that person too. Otherwise, they feel invalidated. But they're like, "Oh, but I meant that compliment that I gave
Yeah.
her, but she didn't take it, and that kind of hurts too." So
Right?
taking it is also a gift back to that person,
It is. Yeah.
and even exchange for you to say thank you.
Yeah. Being able to receive that instead of pushing that energy away. So
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
But, all right. This is so good. I just love this book. Okay. So the next part is make room for the new. Make room for the new. Clean out your refrigerator. Get rid of all those little bits of stuff wrapped in foil. Clean out your closets. Get rid of all the stuff you have not used in the last 6 months or so. If you haven't used it in a year, definitely get it out of your home. Sell it, trade it, give it away, or burn it.
Mhm.
Cluttered closets mean a cluttered mind. As you clean the closet, say to yourself, I am cleaning out the closets of my mind. The universe loves symbolic gestures. The first time I heard the concept, the abundance of the universe is available to everyone, I thought it was ridiculous. Look at all the poor people, I said to myself. Look at my own seemingly hopeless poverty. To hear your poverty is only a belief in your consciousness only made me angry. It took me many years to realize and accept that I was the only person responsible for my lack of prosperity. It was my belief that I was unworthy and not deserving, that money is difficult to come by, and that I do not have talents and abilities that kept me stuck in a mental system of not having. Money is the easiest thing to demonstrate. How do you react to this statement? Do you believe it? Are you angry? Are you indifferent? Are you ready to throw this book across the room? If you have any of these reactions, good. I have touched something deep inside you, that every point of resistance, that very point of resistance to the truth. This is the area to work on. It is time to open yourself to the potential of receiving the flow of money and all good.
Awesome. Yeah.
I love
That's
it.
so good. Um, I love this next part too. Love your bills.
Yes, this one is great, and this touches on something that the magic brings forward too that we've done before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. This is a good one.
Yeah. Love your bills. It is essential that we stop worrying about money and stop resenting our bills. Many people treat bills as punishment to be avoided if possible. The bill is an acknowledgement and our ability to pay. The creditor assumes you are affluent enough to and gives you the service or the product first. I bless with love each and every bill that comes into my home. I bless with love and stamp a small kiss on each and every check I write. If you pay with resentment, money has a hard time coming back to you. If you pay with love and joy, you open the free flowing channel of abundance. Treat your money as a friend, not as something you wad up and crush into your pocket. Your security is not your job or your bank account or your investments or your spouse or parents. Your security is your ability to connect with the cosmic power that creates all things. I like to think that the power within me that breathes in my body is the same power that provides all that I need, and just as easily and simply. The universe is lavish and abundant, and it is our birthright to be supplied with everything we need, unless we choose to believe it to the contrary. I bless my telephone with love each time I use it, and I affirm often that it brings me only prosperity and expressions of love. I do the same with my mailbox, and each day it is filled to overflowing with money and love letters of all kinds from friends and clients and far off readers of my book. The bills that come in, I rejoice over, thanking the companies for trusting me to pay. I bless your doorbell. I bless my doorbell and the front door, knowing that only good comes into my home. I expect my life to be good and joyous, and it is.
Mm.
I have a funny story about this kind of. When we did the magic the first time in our coaching, um, when we did that book study, we learned to write thank you for the money on our bills as we got them, and then when it was time to pay, thank you for the money, or whichever way you did it. But um, the other day I was going through some old paperwork and I found a envelope on it that said thank you for the money. And I thought, "Oh, that is so cool." I've learned to be thankful for all of that, anytime you get a bill or now we don't write checks as much as we used to, but you can still, as you pay it online, thank you for the money. I'm so grateful I have this money to pay this bill in my bank account, and so grateful that I can just type a little button, and it goes to where it needs to go, and make it a fun thing, and don't make it a drudgery. Yeah.
I also like, you know, thank you for the electricity. And thank you for picking up my garbage cans. And thank you for the water. And thank you, because those are all things that we need. Thank you for my home.
Mhm.
And that's one thing that I like to do is this is why I'm thankful. And then thank you for the money to pay it. And I appreciate that I have the money to pay my bills. And that's big for me is the appreciation of, yes, I have the money to pay. Even
Yeah.
if you don't have the money to pay, that's even more important for you to be grateful ahead of time for the money to pay. I'm so grateful that I'm paying off this bill. I so appreciate that this bill is going to be fully paid, and I look forward to seeing that happen. I'm so glad that I can make a payment on this bill.
Yep.
Finding the things that you can be grateful for ahead of time, kind of setting that intention that yes, this bill's going to be paid, and that's going to feel really good.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and that's why I like to write them, as the bills come in the mail, and if you're waiting for payday to pay them, if you just write "Thank you for the money" on it, it's gonna be taken care of, and it's just you're pre-paving the
Yes.
energy to get there, right? Mm.
Thank you for the money.
Yeah, thank you for the money. I love it.
Very good. Next section.
These
Oh, this is like one of my favorite parts
Is it?
of
Awesome.
thing.
Is this
Yes.
just this little paragraph are we doing? Or is yours longer?
So I have three sections on this one that are pretty short. I could do this part
Okay.
through visualization.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. These ideas are for everyone. The man was a hooker and wanted to increase his business. So he came to me for a prosperity session. He felt he was good at his profession and wanted to make $100,000 a year. I gave him the same ideas I am giving you, and soon he had money to put into Chinese porcelains. He spent so much time at home, he wanted to enjoy the beauty of his ever increasing investments.
I wonder what a hooker is in this instance.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of different things. It could be that he was a
Uh,
man in the prostitution profession,
maybe
but it also could be something like a specific profession that I don't know because this was written in the 60s, 70s.
something like that. The 60s, I think. Yeah.
Either way, everybody deserves prosperity and abundance.
Right.
And if that's her point, really.
Yeah.
She didn't care who
It-
anybody was. She wanted them to be successful and happy, have all the good things in their lives. And I appreciate that about her because I feel the same way.
yeah.
Rejoice in others' good fortune. This is one of my favorite things and one of my favorite things to do. Don't delay in your own prosperity by being resentful or jealous that someone else has more than you. Don't criticize the way they choose to spend their money. It is none of your business. Each person is under the law of his or her own consciousness. Just take care of your own thoughts. Bless another's good fortune and know there's plenty for all. Are you a stingy tipper? Do you stiff washroom attendants with some self-righteous statement? Do you ignore the porters in your office or apartment building at Christmas time? Do you pinch pennies when you don't need to, buying day-old vegetables or bread? Do you do your shopping at a thrift shop, or do you always order the cheapest thing on the menu? There is a law of demand and supply. Demand comes first. Demand comes first. Money has a way of coming to where it is needed. The poorest family can almost always gather together the money for a funeral. One of the things that's most important to me in this is rejoicing in other people's good fortune.
Yeah.
It's so important to realize that if you are resentful of somebody else having more than you,
Right.
then that resentment is being put out towards your abundance. So rather than bringing abundance to you, what it's doing is it's actually creating more of that lack mindset. I
Mhm.
don't have that, they have that. I resent you for having that. But
Yeah.
one of the most important things to understand is that's closing off your flow of abundance. So what
Right.
you want to do is, oh wow, you got that new car. It's so beautiful. I'm so happy for you. I know that you really were wanting one. Or, wow, they have all that. I would like to have that too, but I'm glad that they do, and I can't wait to see mine come to me also. And somebody gets an achievement, like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy for you. You so deserve that award. And I look forward to the day that I get recognized for my work too.
Yeah.
So it's about recognizing that there is enough for you and everyone else. And
Right.
there's no reason for you to be resentful of that because you can have it too. And that's the thing. It's just because somebody else has it doesn't mean you can't have it too. Of course you can have it too.
Mhm.
But your lack and your resentment are closing off that abundance that you're asking for and that you want for yourself too.
Yeah. Yeah. People that get jealous or you know, feel bad when somebody else gets something are really in that lack mentality, even if they don't realize it. But,
Yes.
because there is so much out there, we don't have to worry about a lack of anything. It's just an endless supply of whatever we need. And, it what is it's always renewing. Everything is always regenerating. So we always have enough. We always have anything we need. So yeah, I love that.
There's always enough, but are you letting it in? That's the question.
Yep. Yep. That is.
All right, so I'll do this last section and then we can go on to the other one.
Okay.
Visualization, ocean of abundance. Your prosperity consciousness is not dependent on money. Your flow of money is dependent upon your prosperity consciousness.
That's a good one.
Mhm. As you can conceive of more, more will come into your life. I love the visualization of standing at the seashore, looking out at the vast ocean, and knowing that this ocean is the abundance that is available to me. Look down at your hands and see what sort of container you are holding. It is a teaspoon, a thimble with a hole in it, paper cup, glass, a tumbler, a pitcher, a bucket, a wash tub. Perhaps you have a pipeline connected to this ocean of abundance.
Mhm.
Look around you and notice that no matter how many people there are, and no matter what kind of container they have, there's plenty for everyone. You cannot rob another, and they cannot rob you. And in no way can you drain the ocean dry. Your container is your consciousness, and it can always be exchanged for a larger container. Do this exercise often to get the feelings of expansion and unlimited supply.
I love that one. Yeah. I have a community of people that I check in with once a week. And um, one of the guys in that group always talks about the blue ocean. We are on the edge of this blue ocean and we have so much that we can give and that we can, you know, e- experience and that we can share with others. And it's all a blue ocean out there. There's no limits on anything. And it's really cool to think about it that way. So I love this. It's a good analogy.
Yes.
Okay, open your arms. I sit at least once a day with my arms outstretched out to the side and say, I am open and receptive to all the good and abundance in the universe. It gives me a feeling of expansion. The universe can only distribute to me what I have in my consciousness, and I can always create more in my consciousness. It is like a cosmic bank. I make mental deposits by increasing my awareness of my own abilities to create. Meditation, treatments, and affirmations are mental deposits. Let's make a habit of making daily deposits. Just having more money is not enough. We want to enjoy the money. Do you allow yourself to have pleasure with money? If not, why not? A portion of everything you take in can go to pure pleasure. Did you have any fun with your money last week? Why not? What old belief is stopping you? Let it go. Money does not have to be a serious subject in your life. Put it into perspective. Money is a means of exchange. That's all it is. What would you do and what would you have if you didn't need money? You need to shake up your money concepts. I have found that it's easier to teach a seminar on sexuality than it is one on money. People get very angry when their money beliefs are being challenged. Even people who come to the seminar wanting desperately to create more money in their lives will go crazy when I try to change their limiting beliefs. I'm willing to change. I'm willing to release old negative beliefs. Sometimes we have to work with these two affirmations a lot in order to open the space to begin creating prosperity. We want to release the fixed income mentality. Do not limit the universe by insisting that you have only a certain salary or income. That salary or income is a channel. It's not your source. Your supply comes from one source, the universe itself. There are an infinite number of channels. We must open ourselves to them. We must accept in consciousness that supply can come from anywhere and everywhere. Then when we walk down the street and find a penny or a dime, we say thank you to the source. It may be small, but new channels are beginning to open. I am open and receptive to new avenues of income. I now receive my good from expected and unexpected sources. I am an unlimited being accepting from an unlimited source in an unlimited way. Love it. So,
Absolutely.
yeah. Yeah. Is good. Okay, next one. Rejoice in the small new beginnings. When we work for increasing prosperity, we always gain in accordance with our beliefs about what we deserve. A writer was working to increase her income. One of her affirmations was, I am making good money being a writer. 3 days later, she went to a coffee shop where she often had breakfast. She settled into a booth and spread out her paper as she was spread out her paper she was working on. The manager came over to her and asked, You are a writer, aren't you? Will you do some writing for me? He then thought over several little blank tent signs and asked if she could write turkey luncheon special $3.95 on each card. He offered her a free breakfast in return. This small event showed the beginning of her change in consciousness, and she went on to sell her own work. That's awesome.
Love that. I love it.
Yeah, so good.
Recognize prosperity. Begin to recognize prosperity everywhere and rejoice in it. Reverend Ike, the well-known evangelist from New York City, remembered that as a poor preacher, he used to walk by good restaurants and homes and automobiles and clothing establishments and say out loud, "That's for me. That's for me." Allow fancy homes and banks and fine stores and showrooms of all sorts and yachts to give you pleasure. Recognize that all this is part of your abundance and you are increasing your consciousness to partake of all these things if you desire. If you see well dressed people, say, "Isn't it wonderful that they have so much abundance? There's plenty for all of us." We don't want someone else's good. We want to have our own good. And yet we do not own anything. We only use possessions for a period of time until they pass on to someone else. Sometimes a possession may stay in a family for a few generations, but eventually it will pass on. There's a natural rhythm and flow of life. Things come and things go. I believe that when something goes, it is only to make room for something new and better.
Mm,
Accept compliments. Here
yeah.
we go.
This, yeah.
So many, I love this. So many people want to be rich, and yet they won't accept a compliment. I have known many budding actors and actresses who want to be stars, and yet they cringe when they're paid a compliment. Compliments are gifts of prosperity. Learn to accept them graciously. My mother taught me early to smile and say thank you when I received a compliment or a gift. This advice has been an asset all my life. It is even better to accept the compliment and return it so that the giver feels as though he or she has received a gift. We talked about that earlier.
Mhm.
It is a way of keeping the flow of good going. Rejoice in the abundance of being able to awaken each morning and experience a new day. Be glad to be alive, to be healthy, to have friends, to be creative, to be a living example of the joy of living. Live to your highest awareness. Enjoy your transformational process.
I love that. And it's so fun to give compliments when you're out and about or, at Walmart or at the grocery store,
Yeah.
wherever. And just if you see somebody and you love that shirt that somebody has on, tell them that. And it'll help
Hmm.
you feel good and it'll help them feel good. So don't be stingy with compliments ever. I love to do that whenever I'm out doing something. Just
It's
it's
fun and it makes somebody else's day too.
yeah, yep. It's really a fun thing to do. And you can make it a challenge. See if you can give 10 compliments next time you go somewhere. Or, just make it a fun game and it really becomes a habit that way. It's really, yeah,
I love that. That's a great idea.
yeah, yeah. So,
Well, I feel like we can end off with this last little piece, which
mhm,
is kind of like a prayer or meditation that she always ends each chapter with, and I love it. So we'll
yeah.
end off, leave you guys with this wonderful statement.
Mhm.
In the infinity of life where I am, all is perfect, whole, and complete. I am one with the power that created me. I am totally open and receptive to the abundant flow of prosperity that the universe offers. All my needs and desires are met before I even ask. I am divinely guided and protected, and I make choices that are beneficial for me. I rejoice in others' successes, knowing that there's plenty for us all. I am constantly increasing my conscious awareness of abundance, and this reflects in a constantly increasing income. My good comes from everywhere and everyone. All is well in my world.
So good. I love that. Yeah, you can't go wrong with really any of the Hay House authors.
No, you
And
can't. It's
the best. Yeah,
impossible.
yeah. So, Carissa, where can we find you on the interwebs?
On the interwebs, I'm on Facebook at Light of Hope Healing. And
Mm,
then we are collectively on Facebook at Our Soul Space. And then I also have a Square site where you can buy things in addition to setting up appointments with me. And that's at light of hope healing square.site. And then Tracy, where can we find your amazingness?
I am at inspiredsignals.com. And on there, I have links to everywhere else, but I have Facebook at Inspired Signals and also Instagram. And my artsy stuff is Inspired Signals Studio. on both Instagram and Facebook. And of course, we have our YouTube channel.
Yes. Please let us know how you're liking it. Send us some comments or compliments. We'll send them back to you also.
Yeah.
We also want to hear about what you want to learn about. We've been doing this for many, many years. We just want to hear from you guys and hear what are the subjects that you're interested in and how can we help you even further than we're doing. So um, leave us a comment, send us a message. We can't wait to hear from you.
Yeah, we love to share and to help you make strides in your life so you can be happy whenever you want. Okay.
We'll
Yeah.
see you guys next week.
Bye bye.
See ya.